the future of America is not looking very good. You know, and I don't want to wig out any of your viewers or anything, but America is going to be attacked because America is not what it used to be. America is not the superpower that it used to be.
Oh wow, really?
The armies. America used to have the strongest
Right.
army in the
Right.
world. Well, guess what? It doesn't anymore.
Wow.
And because America has been such a bully to a lot of countries, in these end times, the Most High is going to use that
To reverse it?
where the people that have been oppressed, the countries that have been oppressed by the U.S., this is one, are going to turn.
Wow. Hello and welcome back again to another amazing episode. My name is Hayford. If you don't know who I am, I'm a content creator, a cinematographer, and I've been, doing this episode where I'm interviewing the diasporans who moved back to the continent. My first episode that was filmed was with Nai. She is an American who moved back from the US to Ghana and is currently living here on the continent. But the first time I met her, she was with her mom. I wanted to interview them together, but I couldn't. But now, finally, I'm so glad I have her mom here with me, and I really want to ask her a lot of questions. She shared a lot of knowledge with me that I thought it would be great if she shared with my viewers as well. So I have here with me Madam B. Without further ado, welcome on the show.
Well, thank you, Hayford. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too. I loved that last time we talked. You shared a lot with me, and I felt it's amazing. It's good knowledge. You opened my mind and my eyes to so many things, and I want that for my viewers. I want you to be able to, educate them on other things and, share the knowledge with them. So for the people watching to really get to know who you are, can you briefly introduce yourself to the viewers?
Absolutely, absolutely, and thank you for the pleasure of being on your channel. Finally,
It's my pleasure.
As he said, I go by the name of Madam V. My first name, though, is Verlisha King, and I come from the United States. I actually come from California, and I've been here in Ghana for 5 years now. It's been quite an experience, and it's been an adjustment. It really has, to be honest. It has been quite an adjustment because I left behind everything I know to come to a country that I absolutely knew nothing about. So this has been a learning experience for me. It has.
So how long has it been so far since you moved to Ghana?
I've been here for 5 years now.
Oh,
Actually,
wow.
5 years next month on the 27th.
Oh wow.
Yes,
Wow.
so we're coming up on our
Wow.
anniversary.
Wow. So, when I spoke to Nai, she shared with me how you guys moved back and how you were directed by the Holy Spirit. And I don't know if you want to share about that, but then briefly on how it came about and why Africa even was an option for you when you considered leaving America.
Okay, I'd be happy to. When I'll probably say maybe about 8 years ago, I was in prayer, and it was about something totally different. And the Most High put in my spirit that you need to leave America. That was not my intent. That
Wow.
was not what I was focusing on doing. But and when he told me Africa, I thought, what, maybe, I don't know. Did I hear that right? Because I had no intentions of leaving the States.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to get adjusted to that thought. And as time went on, he put it more and more in my spirit. And I think when I got to the 1.5 year mark, he really put it in my spirit. I was actually in the shower.
Oh wow.
And I heard the Holy Ghost or the Holy Spirit is clear as I'm hear everything you're saying. And he said, prepare. It's time for you to prepare. It's time to get ready. So we ended up selling everything we owned. Actually, I didn't correct that. We gave away a lot of things that we had. And there were a few things I sold, like my car and things like that. But everything else we gave away. And we kept our very personal things that we would bring here. And off we went.
Wow. Wow. So you moved back to the continent without knowing anybody here.
We didn't know anyone.
No, like friends or family, nothing.
No one.
Wow.
Now you see why I was questioning the Holy Spirit. I
Yeah.
was like, "Are you sure this is
Right.
what you want us to do?" But yet, no, we didn't know anyone.
Wow. So how has the experience been so far? Being on the continent and following the spirit, and you being here now.
It's been educational.
Mm.
It's been quite educational,
Mhm.
and it's been quite an adjustment.
Mhm.
It's been quite an adjustment because the systems here are naturally very different.
Right.
I moved away when I was 59, so I lived in the States for 59 years.
Wow.
And it was exciting,
Mhm.
but then it became, I think I began to understand there's quite a challenge involved
Wow.
at the same time. I'm very honest. I don't like to color up a picture at all. It's been at times frustrating,
Wow.
but at the same time, it's something that I would do all over again.
Wow. So if you should go back 5 6 years to change your mind to
Would I
about
change
coming,
my
yeah,
mind? Absolutely not.
not. So
Absolutely not.
really make me and my viewers understand what is really making you decide to like leave America, because when I hear that story, I don't understand, because America is a place where it was sold to me to be the promised land. I it's like when I go to church and I pray, I tell God, please take me to America.
Right,
I want a
right.
US visa. And you are an American, and then you are leaving everything behind, the greener pastures and everything, you're here. So for my viewers to really understand what was really going through your spirit, and then the whole biblical explanation that you told me, why it was so important, I want to for you to share with the viewers, to see if they can also understand why you made that decision.
Oh, I'd be happy to.
Yeah.
First, I think I need to take this in sections.
Sure.
Um, First, I think we need to understand that when a picture of anywhere really in the West, especially the United States, is shown to the rest of the world, they, of course, are going to show all the good things.
Yes.
All the things
The tallest
that you
buildings.
can, right, and the paved roads,
yes.
and just the opportunity that is there. But they're not going to show some of the downsides of living in America, especially as a melanated woman. They're not going to show, or a melanated person, I should say. They're not going to show you those challenges, because it's very challenging navigating through that system. Yes, the roads are paved. Yes, the environment might be a little bit cleaner depending on where you live. Yes, there are more opportunities.
Yes.
Because living here for 5 years, I get that part. I really do, because there are more opportunities.
Right.
However, you have to deal with a white supremacist system, and you have to navigate through that.
Wow.
And it's challenging. That's challenging as well, because you are faced with a lot of adversities that they don't show when they show you,
No.
when they put that desire in your heart, like you had when you were a little boy,
Yeah.
to get a visa, to go to the United States. Yes, it's different, and there are upsides, but there are downsides as well. Now, for the second section, I understand from a biblical standpoint what the United States is and what the future of the United States is. So I know that it's not as rosy as
No.
people like to think. The United States is a very dangerous place, very dangerous place, very violent society.
Wow.
And since being here in Ghana, that we haven't faced, that we haven't experienced. Everyone is actually pretty low key, okay, and it's, in my opinion, pretty passive. So we're not worried about people running around with guns, or shooting up people, or shooting children, that type of violence. We don't experience that here. So for that reason, no, I wouldn't change my decision, I wouldn't. Sometimes you have to take the good with the bad. You have to weigh
Mm-hmm.
out which one is best for
Mm-hmm.
you. And for our situation, leaving the United States was best for us,
Wow.
not only physically, but spiritually, from a spiritual standpoint of understanding what is going to take place there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, this hearing this from you really kind of convinced me. Otherwise, why I even left China to
Mm-hmm.
really come to Ghana, because I felt it in my soul that this is where I will have to be, or I need to be.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of sank with me, in a way. But I
Mm-hmm.
think your story is quite unique, where you can speak to you get the inspiration directly,
Mm-hmm.
from the Almighty. So yeah, that's the thing. I also want to ask you this:
Mm-hmm.
you've been here, you've lived here for almost 5 years now. What would you say you've learned, like a lesson that you can share with people watching this, that they would like to follow your footsteps? What have you learned, and what would be that one thing you wish you knew before you moving back to the continent?
Okay, good question. Take your time.
Mm.
Take your time. I have noticed the diasporans come here
Right.
and they are very anxious to jump in with
Mhm.
both feet.
Mhm.
Now, if you've been here, if you've experienced the Ghanaian culture and you spend some
Mhm.
time in Ghana, maybe not so much. But
Mhm.
if you are fresh, like I was, I needed to find my way around. I
Mhm.
needed to navigate and I needed to be careful. I
Mhm.
needed to bring my common sense here.
Mhm.
I could not get caught up in the fact, well, I'm in the motherland now, so I can just let my guard
Yes.
down with everything.
Mhm.
That's a mistake.
Mhm.
That's a mistake. It's You have to take your time. You have to listen to people that have been here for like many, many years, like I still do.
Okay.
One of my best friends here, he's been here for like 13 years.
Oh wow.
And I listen to him. Then I have another sister that I love dearly. She's been here for almost 30 years.
Oh wow.
I still listen to them because they've been through
Sure.
all of it. And they have golden advice
Mhm.
for me.
Mhm.
So you can't come here and think you know everything
Everything.
from a
Yeah.
YouTube video.
No.
Okay, you really can't.
No.
You have to be here. You have to experience the environment. You need to take your time so you can learn because it's a learning experience.
Mhm.
It's been a learning
Right.
experience for me. I didn't jump in just feeling like I knew
Everything.
everything. So that's the advice that I would give to people coming here. But I also have another bit of
Okay.
advice. Don't be afraid because some people are afraid.
Yeah.
They have heard the voice possibly of the Most High, but they're afraid because it's a big leap to go from the West and come to the continent. It's a big leap.
Yeah.
And but it's not anything you should fear. It's just something you should do with
Mhm.
wisdom.
Mhm.
Let's put it like that.
Okay. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hearing that from you, it's awesome. Now, but I think there's a stereotype out there that sometimes stop people from, coming.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have faced any things like that?
When I was younger,
Okay, okay.
but as I prepared to come here,
Mm-hmm.
I was actually amazed at what I found because
Wow.
I did research
Yeah.
on actually many different countries
in
here
Africa.
on the continent,
Okay.
and I was very impressed
Mhm.
with what I saw.
So,
It was like, wow,
as you were
okay.
expecting.
Yeah, I was like, wow, these places are beautiful.
Right.
They're very, very nice.
Mhm.
It's an environment that I
Mhm.
can see myself fitting
Mhm.
into, and so
Mhm.
I think we all have those
Yeah.
misconceptions about each other.
Mhm. Yeah.
By being here, I've learned that Africans have
A lot.
misconceptions
Yeah.
about people that come from the West
Yeah.
and vice versa.
Mhm.
And that's why it's important for us to break down those
Mhm.
misconceptions so we
What
can
What are
understand
some of the misconceptions you've heard so far
about
that Africans or Ghanaians have about Americans?
that we have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
And that is ridiculous.
Mhm.
I know so many Ghanaian, diasporans, including myself, because I will tell the truth. We're struggling, okay, financially to survive
Mm.
here. But I will say this, and this is where my spirituality comes from. The Most High is not left to me yet,
No, yeah.
being here financially or otherwise.
Mhm.
He really hasn't, because He told me to come.
Mhm.
That means He's going to provide for
Yes.
me.
Yes.
You know, am I rolling in a lot of money? No. But He is supplying all of my needs according to His riches and glory. So I'm not worried
Amen.
about it. I'm not
So,
worried about it.
what do you think we as the individual can do to educate the people about the whole everybody coming from the West is rich and then start duping people? What do you think would be the one thing we can do to change that?
I think what you're doing,
Okay.
I think what you're doing right now
Mm.
helps to change that feeling, because it can't be done overnight,
Mm.
because it's been instilled for a while.
Yes.
And when you have Ghanaians that have moved to the West and they come back and they're showing, I have all
Yeah.
this money, that doesn't help the situation.
Right.
It really doesn't. But I think what you're doing right now, it takes time to
thank you.
break down walls. It takes time to eliminate
That's
um,
true.
misconceptions.
Okay.
It does. It takes time. So what you're doing, I think you're definitely on the right path.
All right, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
Absolutely.
So, I wanted you to, I mean, it hasn't been all roses, like you said, there have been challenges, it's been a learning process. Can you just, lay out or point out some three difficulties, major difficulties or challenges that you can probably caution someone, about this kind of challenges before they visit the motherland? So even prepare in advance to kind of face challenges like that, and what to do based on your experience and what you've learned so far. Can you share that with the viewers?
Absolutely. I feel that number one of the challenges is you have to understand the systems don't work the same.
Yeah.
The systems are, we're used to, coming from the West, we're used to conveniences. The whole system is set up on conveniences, but that can be a trap as well.
How?
It can be a trap because that's what you're looking for, and
Okay.
if you don't have those conveniences, it can wig you out.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
it really
yeah,
can.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's one of the challenges, is things don't work as fast. We're used to efficiency and things working in a very expedient manner. That's not what you're going to find when you come here.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
true.
you're not going to find that. You're not going to find, like for instance, different things that I need done. People say they're going to come and take care of it, and they never show. And these are like necessary things you need done. That's frustrating. That's very frustrating, because if I need something fixed and I kind of really need it done, and I get connected with someone and they assure me that, oh, yes, I'm coming or whatever, I'm coming.
Yeah.
That's what you hear a lot. I'm coming. But they never show up.
Why do you think that is, though? That attitude?
You tell me. I have no idea. Because, and I'm going to tell you why I'm saying I have no idea.
Right.
Because, being here for a little while, I know a lot of Ghanaians.
Exactly.
I've met a lot of Ghanaians, and one of the major beefs is money. I don't have money.
Money, yeah.
But if you're coming to do a job, that means you're
gonna
going to
get
make
paid,
money.
yeah.
But not showing up, that's something I don't
Yeah.
understand. That's why I'm saying,
Yeah.
you tell me, because I don't get it.
I don't get it too. So that is a major challenge so far.
It is.
Wow.
It's a major challenge, and then people wanting to take advantage because you come from the West,
Right.
and like I said earlier, that misconception that you just have a money tree growing in your backyard.
Yeah.
That's very challenging. And also, I think negotiating for prices, that's something that's not really done a lot,
Right.
especially in America. If I buy this bottle of water, it has a price and I pay it.
Pay for it.
But it might be a situation here where I have to dicker.
Yeah.
Where
Price
I have
it
to
down
negotiate.
and
Right.
down
Get
and
get it down. It's
Yeah.
high in the beginning, and I've got to get you down. And that's still a challenge for me, to be honest.
Wow. You have to call me. I would go with you to the market.
You can go with me. You can go. Now remember you said that.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
you just call me. Because I think when they see, oh, this person is from the US, traveled abroad, the price doubles. So I learned
Oh
that the
yes.
hard way myself because I traveled a bit, and then when I came back, people would look at me like this guy is a they call it, oh, boga means like someone who have traveled abroad and came back. So we a
Okay.
boga meaning you've traveled, you have some money with you,
Okay.
and then if the thing is too city, they'll probably end up charging you 4 5 cities or something like that.
Yes, I know.
So yeah, I mean,
I've experienced
I
that.
kind of understand that part.
You know, I want to stop you. Just one more I want to say.
Sure.
Is another challenge for me is the driving pattern.
Oh.
Okay, the driving patterns here. I'm used to organized driving, and then
It has no formula.
Here. When I started driving, this gentleman that I told you is a friend of mine that's been here for about 13 years.
Okay.
He told me, he said, V, everything you learned about driving in the States, throw it completely
It does
out of
not
your
apply.
mind. Okay, because it's totally
Different.
different. And it can
It
get a little
is.
frustrating.
You'd have to think for everybody driving.
You do. And it's like, okay, that doesn't make any sense, but I'll go with it. But no, driving, very challenging
Wow.
for me.
So I want to end with a good note with
Yes.
the so what would be like the 3 positive things that you'd say you've experienced so far and it amazed you about Ghana, or you feel at peace, knowing or experiencing these things, positive things so far on
Absolutely.
the continent.
Absolutely. First of all, I love the beauty of Ghana. And when I say that, I'm talking about, I'm not talking about so much Accra,
Right.
the capital, but the other regions are so lovely to
Wow.
me.
Yeah.
I think they are unbelievable. And let me say this about the people that I have met and that I have become friends with are amazing.
Wow.
You know, I've actually collected about 8 different sons here.
Wow.
And what I love about each one of them is their free heart. You know, they're not looking to get anything from me. They just want to help me
Yep. Yeah.
to get through. You know, I have a couple daughters, but I have mainly sons, which I find real interesting. So the people that I have met have just been so lovely.
Wow.
So lovely.
Wow.
And I think the third thing is there's more peace.
Peace. Wow.
You know,
This is a real caring thing, actually.
yeah, it's more peace.
Wow.
It's more peace.
Wow. Elaborate on that.
I think it's the atmosphere, because in the States, and like I said, I come from California, so that's a faster pace state of Los Angeles to be tell you the city, and it's just constantly turning. It's very fast, and to just kind of slow it down a bit has been very nice for me. It's been very nice for me. So that's why I don't regret coming.
Wow.
You know, but there's minus and pluses to everywhere.
Everywhere. It's
You
true.
know, so no, I would do it again.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I had a conversation with Judah, which is Jexo, and then he said something like, in Ghana, peace is priceless, in a way that he grew up in Chicago, and just even bumping into somebody can cost you your life.
Yes.
But then coming on the continent, there's nothing like that. People would argue, but they would never even fight, and that brings him peace, and he would trade it for nothing.
I've noticed that though. He's right. I've noticed that. I've seen, and I haven't even seen a lot of arguments, but I've seen a few, and they can get heated,
Right.
but no one puts their hands
Yeah.
on each other.
Yeah.
And that's pleasant.
Yeah.
That's really nice, because when you hear those heated arguments, because you come from the West,
Right.
you're expecting
Something's
somebody
gonna
to throw
happen.
down.
Yeah.
Okay, you're
Yeah.
expecting that. But no,
No.
they don't.
Wow.
No.
Oh, that's beautiful. So, I mean, from what you've experienced so far, what is the one thing, if you are given the power to change, what would that be? The one thing you would be able to change that you think would make an impact or would do much difference to help the people of Ghana? in so many different ways, what would one that thing be?
Wow, that's not a really easy question
It's not
to answer. It
because
really isn't. Um,
mm,
Probably the mindset
mm,
that money is not
mm-hmm,
everything.
everything.
Um,
Mm,
yeah, it's probably that
mm-hmm,
money isn't everything. Of course, we need money to live,
mm-hmm,
but to do
mm-hmm,
different things to get it.
mm-hmm. But why do you think that mindset is? Because I think compared to 20 years ago,
Mhm.
Ghana really didn't have that mindset
Mhm.
of like money is everything, get money and forget about everybody else.
Mhm.
But recently, I've even experienced it myself where people would even betray you for money or
Mhm.
even have to be step on your neck to get to where he want to get to. He would do that. What do you think that comes from and why it's happening like that on the continent?
Okay, so someone else might have another opinion, but
Mhm.
my opinion is that Ghana is trying to be too westernized.
Mm.
You know, you get media as an influence, and you see, the cars, the this, the that, that big houses, the iPhone, which I still don't get, but the iPhone or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be,
Mhm.
and to because that influences even the states, people in the states too. Because what you're looking at, because the
Mhm.
media is a very powerful
Right.
medium, and it goes into your subconscious mind. So if I'm trying to be like people from the West, that means I need to live
Like
a
them.
certain
Mhm.
lifestyle,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know?
Mhm.
So I think it has a lot to do with that.
Mhm.
I would love to see, and I'm not saying that Ghanaians don't embrace their culture, but I kind of hate to see the embracing of the Western
Western
culture
culture.
so much.
Mhm.
You know, the culture here is
It's
beautiful,
beautiful.
intact the way
Mhm.
that it is.
Mhm.
To want to be so Western, it's not really that's
Mhm.
not a plus. That
Yeah.
really isn't a good thing,
Mhm.
in my opinion,
Mhm.
because that can cause you to compromise
Yeah.
your values
Mhm. Mhm.
to be able to get those things and to be able to
Mhm.
dress the part
Right.
of someone
Mhm.
from the West.
Yeah.
So that's actually
Wow.
what I think.
Because I think that is good you said that because even when we were growing up in primary or high school,
Mhm.
if you should speak like your own language, which is like Chi, in
Mhm.
classrooms, you get punished for it.
Right, I heard
You are
that.
told to speak English. And even in society, when you speak good English, you are being
Mhm.
respected and then seen as
Right.
an educated
I've
person.
heard that.
And
Yes.
so, I mean, you trying to, it would be great. And I think the mindset is what is, keeping us back as a people in the
Mhm.
development. So I agree with you to my
Yeah,
stand.
I heard that though about
Yeah,
the languages, and I
yeah.
was like, well, why would you not speak your own
Language,
language?
yeah.
You're in Ghana,
Exactly.
okay?
Yeah.
You're not in the States
Mhm.
or anywhere else.
Mhm.
You're in Ghana.
Mhm.
And when I just want to interject this,
Mhm.
something that surprised me when I came
Mhm.
here is the schools.
Mm.
I was seeing German schools and
Mhm.
Swiss
Mhm.
schools and Ghanaian children going to those schools, and I'm like, wait a minute, why is that?
Mhm.
And where's that coming from?
Right.
You know, just loving who you are,
Mhm.
embracing who you are is really, really important. So that's what I would say
Yeah,
about that.
I agree with you.
Hmm.
Now, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Do you believe Africa is paradise?
When I arrived here, the gentleman that picked us up from the airport, he said something that was very interesting to me. He's from Jamaica,
Mhm.
but he lived in the States for many years, from what I heard. And he said, I'm not here for the people, I'm here for the land, I'm here for the homeland, I'm not here for the people.
Mm.
And that was interesting to me because I
Mhm.
didn't understand it.
Mhm.
But after living here for a little while, I think I get it a little bit more. I think what he was saying
Mhm.
is the land is so precious here. It's a beautiful continent.
Mhm.
It's a beautiful continent. We've been to a couple other
Mhm.
countries here. It's a lovely continent.
Mm.
So you're asking, do I think this is paradise? I honestly believe it could be.
Wow. So Ghana is not the only country you've been, right? You've been to other places. Which countries in Africa have you been
We've been to Egypt,
to?
which
Okay.
that's a little bit
Different.
different.
Okay.
We've been to Egypt, and we went to Zambia.
Zambia. Oh, okay.
Hmm.
So why moving back? Why didn't you choose any of these countries to moving back Ghana?
Well, Egypt was not
Mhm.
where I would want to live. However, we had an amazing experience
Mm.
in Egypt. There are some people that say they don't.
Mhm.
Some diasporans have said they don't really have a great experience, but
Right.
we did.
Oh wow.
They treated us so amazing,
Mhm.
and they treated us like your family. You're one of
Mhm.
us, and especially when we went to Ensawam,
Mhm.
where Nubians live.
Mm.
They look just like you and me,
Mm.
and those are more original people.
They were in Sawam,
Ensawam or Nestle Ensawam
in
with the
Sawam,
A.
in
Mhm.
in Egypt.
Mhm.
Oh wow. Okay.
Mhm. And it was, like I said, there were people there that looked like you and me,
Mm. In
and
Egypt.
oh, absolutely, because the original Egyptians were
I
oh
love
gosh,
that. Let's just go into that.
yeah,
Okay.
we're melanated people.
Hey.
They didn't look like a lot of the
Yeah.
people in Egypt now. That's
Mhm.
why we wouldn't have stayed in
Mhm.
Egypt.
Mhm.
Even though we had an amazing experience
Right.
there. In Zambia, it was
Mhm.
still nice. It was still nice, but it was just really for a visit.
Yeah.
But we came right back to Ghana.
Ghana is home, the
Absolutely.
gateway to Africa.
Absolutely, because it
So
is.
it is. Wow.
Hmm.
Now, let's talk a little bit about Revelation and
Okay.
what we spoke about so many times
Okay.
about America and
Hmm.
what is to come.
Hmm.
You know,
Okay.
I want us to really dive in where, very candid and really say
Hmm.
it as it is, because I feel like there was so much truth in where you were telling me, and I feel
Hmm.
like I want the viewers to really feel what you were telling me. Share
Hmm.
with us how is the future of America looking like, and what is to come.
The future of America is not looking very good.
Mm.
And that is according to Bible prophecy. I remember, I think it was 2013.
Mm.
I was giving a Bible study slash sermon or teaching at a church. They asked me to come in and teach, and I didn't know what I was going to teach on.
Mm.
And the Most High took me to Revelation 18. Why, I didn't know. And while I was reading Revelations 18, the Holy Spirit let me know this is America. This is America. And I started reading and really studying and doing some more research. And when I got ready, you might find this interesting. When I got ready to deliver that message, my papers, because I had my notes
Mhm.
with me, because I didn't want to leave anything out, my
Mhm.
papers started to, some papers got away from me. I
Mm.
couldn't find them.
They disappeared, or someone stole it, or what?
No, they were there.
Mm.
You know, spiritually, sometimes the enemy can do certain things. That's happened to me before. It's happened to other people too.
Wow.
And I could not find those papers until I was done. Because there was another friend of mine sitting there, and she was like, I was seeing you were kind of like trying to go through these notes,
Mhm.
and you were looking, you were talking, still talking, but you were looking. And I said, it's because I couldn't find what
Wow.
I was looking for in certain links. I could not find. But it was okay, because what basically happened is I delved even deeper in prophecy. And with America, America is the daughter of Babylon.
Mm.
All types of things are going on in America.
Mm.
If you are a person that is a child of the Most High, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I think and I don't think, it turned into an anything goes type of
Mhm.
situation where I felt like I didn't even belong there anymore.
Wow.
And according to prophecy, America is not going to survive
Mm-hmm.
as we go through these end times. It's not going to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Every queer bird that's in the word is housed in America.
Mm.
You can do anything you want. You can have sex with whatever you want to have sex with. You can marriage,
Mm-hmm.
people still get married, so don't get
Mm-hmm.
me wrong. But it's turned into a thing where that's not really valued anymore. A lot of the values that I grew up with when I was a kid,
Mm-hmm.
those values have just about gone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They've just about
Mm-hmm.
gone. So in Revelations, it tells you that all of these things are going to stop.
Wow. They're going to stop?
That are going to stop, which means that, and I don't want to wig out any of your
Mm-hmm.
viewers or anything, but America is going to be attacked because America is not what it used to be. America is not the superpower
Mm.
that it used to be.
Oh, wow. Really?
The armies. America used to have the strongest
Right.
army in
Right.
the world. Well, guess what? It doesn't anymore.
Wow. Really?
Your strongest army in the world now is China. Your second
China.
strongest army is Russia.
Wow.
America is third.
Wow.
And because America has been such a bully to a lot of countries, in these end times, the Most High is going to use that
To reverse it?
where the people that have been oppressed, the countries that have been oppressed by the U.S., this is one,
Mm.
are going to turn.
Wow.
And America's going to be attacked. America's not going to survive this.
Wow.
That's not only the judgment against America.
Wow.
There are other things that are going on in America. In America, there are so many things that's going to even cause America to implode from the inside. There's so much turmoil. There's so much tension. There's so much going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to implode from the inside. Plus, on top of that,
Hmm.
and you can do your research
Mm-hmm.
on this as well, there are so many active volcanoes in America. The biggest one
Now?
is
Currently?
yes, is Yellowstone Park.
Hmm.
It's eventually going to blow.
Wow.
It's so bad there. They don't report on this type of
Mhm.
stuff. It's so bad there until certain areas they will not let people come to that park because there's a lot of activity that's going on. So there's a lot of odds against
America.
the United States.
Mm.
The United States is referred to in the word as the modern Sodom and Gomorrah because it is.
It is.
It really is because if you think about it, America influences every other
Everywhere, yeah.
country.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw, was it Chinese young men? You can tell me if it's true. You lived
Yeah.
in China. They're rapping and wearing the hip hop clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but we influence a lot
Exactly.
by us being melanated people.
Mhm.
We do, and that's another story because we get into tribes on that one. But anyway, there are so many things that are going to happen
Wow.
to America, and that's the reason why the Most High told us
Wow.
to leave, and He told me that there's ministry work for me to do here.
Wow. So, when you were telling, you said you had a message that you wanted to share with the church audience, but you couldn't find that message. You
Mhm.
know, if you could share with the viewers some of the message, and
Well,
you
I
know-
would have to. We'd have to go into the Bible,
Okay.
okay, to
Okay.
do that.
Okay.
Where I could break down
Okay.
Revelations 18. I know you don't
Yeah.
have enough time to do that.
You would definitely do that.
But
next
we
time.
can do it
Yeah.
another time. I
Yeah.
have no problem with
Mm.
it. But it was really showing
Mhm.
how those scriptures were describing America to a T.
Wow. So I'm really worried because cost of living in Ghana is skyrocketing.
Of course.
The world is changing,
Of course.
and it seems everything is coming from the tension between the U.S., Russia, China, and its allies. And I don't know where it's going, with all that. But then you spoke to me about it earlier on, giving an insight. So I mean, you can share a little bit on that, if you don't mind.
No, I don't mind. I'm trying to definitely
Mm-hmm.
section it the way I
Okay.
need to. Of course, there is tension. There's tension. Naturally, Russia has invaded, which
Mm-hmm.
the Ukraine was theirs in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
but they have invaded the Ukraine. We have tensions with China
Mm-hmm.
and Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
But these things are Bible prophecy. There are things going on now in the Caribbean,
Mm-hmm.
in the waters of the Caribbean, where China and Russia are joining.
Mm.
And that's going to put the United States in a real interesting position
Wow.
because I was even explaining to you that it's interesting the U.S. has not gotten into the war yet with Ukraine. They're sending aid, they're
Aids.
sending weapons, but they're not really sending a lot of their
Mm.
troops. And I know why they're not sending their troops.
Why?
Because you're going up against Russia.
Mm.
Russia's military is no joke. It's absolutely no joke. Even though the American military is strong,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not stronger than Russia's. It's not stronger
Wow.
than China's. But as Americans, we have been led to believe
Yeah.
that we'll always be the superpower.
Mhm.
We'll always be in control. But the Most High is going to knock America off anyway. This is going to affect the rest of the world, of course, because you mentioned the prices.
Right.
The prices are not going to go down.
Wow.
The prices are going to continue to rise.
Wow.
That's Bible prophecy, where the word tells us that the daily rations will be taken away. That's the food.
Mm-hmm.
They're blowing up and
Wow.
burning down different food manufacturing companies in the U.S. That's not happening by accident.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's not happening by accident.
Wow.
What I feel, and I'm going to be really honest with you, I feel churches are not preparing people
Hmm.
for what's getting ready to happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not business as usual.
Mm-hmm.
It is not.
Wow.
Things have changed. Since the pandemic, we've gone into a reset and we've gone into another
Yeah.
system.
Yeah.
So things are not going to change.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get rid of fiat currency.
Wow.
So, with that, people need to prepare. People need to grow food so they can, if there's a problem with food, you won't starve.
Right.
In America, I don't know about here, but in America, if when it comes to that point, you do not want to be in the streets with people trying to get food. Trying to get water, because people have guns. In the States.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and there's a lot of crazy people in the States who are triggered. And if someone is trying to feed their family and there's one bottle of water and you're trying to get it, what do you think is going to happen? A friendly exchange? Well,
Yes.
no. If someone has a gun, they're going to probably use it.
Wow.
And that's the problem with America. There's too many guns. Now, I'm not for gun control because I feel that the government is going to do some stuff where people are going to need their guns. But because there are semi-automatic weapons, come on, you can wipe out a lot of people in one shot.
Right.
I don't understand why that's necessary. But it's going to get real crazy over there.
Wow.
It's going to get
Wow.
really
So
crazy.
it's inevitable. It's going to happen.
Oh, it's going to happen. I mean, some of your viewers may disagree with me, and that's fine because we can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
But I have not been wrong
Wow.
about a lot
Wow.
of things that I've been talking about for over 10 years. These things are coming to pass.
It is.
They're coming to
Yeah.
pass.
It is.
So, we'll
Yeah.
see.
Let's see. So, I mean, people are touched by what you're saying. They want to follow your footsteps. You know, they don't. I won't say follow blindly, but then what would be the important advice for them to, if someone is convinced and really want to leave America, to come to Ghana? You said something similar earlier on, but I really want this to be a personal message to anyone who wants to follow the faith, maybe by guidance. What would be that one message, for the people to, take that, use that, and just move back here to the continent? One message.
Obedience is better than sacrifice. We came here because I was being obedient. Did I particularly want to come
Mhm.
here? I wanted to visit, but I never thought about living
Right.
here. But when the Most High said, do it, I don't question the Most High when He tells me to do
Mhm.
something. Because I know if I do it, He'll take care of the rest.
Right.
So, obedience is better than sacrifice. For your viewers that are
Mhm.
believers and you really do follow Christ,
Mhm.
you got to be obedient to what He's telling you to do because He's telling you for a reason. If He's calling you out,
Mhm.
it's for also to protect you. So if He's calling you out,
Mhm.
do what you need to do. We left in a very unorthodox way that I will
Yeah.
not share. Okay, but we
It's
left in
okay.
a very unorthodox way because I didn't know how we were going to move,
So you
make
guys
that kind of
didn't
move.
prepare at all.
No,
Wow.
we did not.
Wow.
And I know that a lot of people say, but you got to have a plan,
Right.
which I would agree with that to a certain extent. But I do feel when we left, I felt like the Most High is my plan because
Mhm.
He told me to leave. I have been in a situation when the Most High has told me something to do and I didn't do it.
Mm.
And because I didn't do it, which this is another story for another time, He
Mm.
struck my body
Mm.
until I did it.
Mm.
When I did it, I was fine.
Wow.
So from that moment on, I don't play with Him.
Wow.
When He tells me to do something,
Wow.
like as a parent,
Mhm.
if you tell your child to do
Mhm.
something, you expect that child to do
Mhm.
it. Am I correct?
Mhm. Yes.
Why is it any different for Him?
Mm. Mhm. Yeah. That's so true. Wow. Now, thank you so much for sharing this with me. It
You're
really
very
means a lot.
welcome.
And then, I mean, like, you've been here for 5 years. I mean, people want to come down to do business or even to, survive because Ghana is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So people want to come here, work, survive, or even to create job opportunities.
Right.
What do you think could be the best business to invest in if anyone wants to just move back? This is like a gift because you've been here for 5 years, and I'm sure you've identified some opportunities people can capitalize on. So what would that opportunity be?
I would think it would be agriculture.
Agriculture, farming.
Yes,
Okay.
farming. Because there's going to be a need.
Mm.
There's going to be a need.
Wow.
As time moves on, there's going to be a need.
Yeah.
If you maybe can't afford what's in the grocery stores, the supermarkets, because that's how we shop. Because that's the only way we know to
Yeah.
shop. But recently, we've really been shopping locally, and we've been buying more produce,
Mhm.
which is even more manageable and more healthy.
Right.
Okay, more healthy. But I would say agriculture. The reason why I'm saying that is because we were trying
Mhm.
to start a food stand here,
Okay.
selling American food.
Okay. Yeah.
And we, did our due diligence and we found out, that would actually do really good
Yeah.
here. But there were so many roadblocks. And the roadblocks wasn't the government. The roadblocks were the people.
Wow. You were telling me about that.
Yeah.
So tell us a little in details of what happened.
Well, I didn't. We were looking for a area to place our stand. We had a stand built, got everything we needed for it, and I actually didn't want to show my face
Oh.
when we were looking for a location to put
Okay.
the stand. So two of my Ghanaian sons, they helped us and they put their face out there and were asking, different things and different people. And what really hurt me, it wasn't so much we weren't able to get our stand started. It was these two young men were asking different vendors, different people with shops, different ones with stands. How can I get started? And they got a lot of empty promises, number one. And then some people who didn't really want to help them at all. That hurt me. It hurt me because I was like, okay, they don't know anything about us.
Right.
You have these two Ghanaian young men who want to start a business, who they want to see if they can do something and get ahead and get in the business world and start a business. but they didn't have any help from
Wow.
anyone. That hurt me
Wow. Why do
because
you
I'm like,
think?
these are young people.
Yeah.
They should be assisted so they can start businesses too. So that
Yeah.
bothered me.
I
It did.
think um, here in Ghana, if I should
Mhm.
go to my family
Mhm.
to ask for money to open a business,
Mhm.
I might come back with an empty pocket. But
Mhm.
if you should go and say, "Oh, I want to leave Ghana, I want to go to America," they would probably sell some few lands in the village to find the money for you. Yeah,
Wow. Really?
yeah, yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, yeah. So it's
Interesting.
very interesting you saying that, and I think why do you think that is the thing here in Ghana? Because we don't seem to support each other. And from your observation, what do you think is the problem, and how can we?
Um, well, to be fair,
Mm-hmm.
we have those problems in the States too
Oh, wow.
with melanated people,
Mm.
with black people. We sometimes run up against that as well. But here in Ghana, I don't know. It seems to be a situation
Mm-hmm.
where I see a covetous spirit here a lot,
Mm.
um, where people covet what other people have, and because the I think because of I want to say poverty here, but I
Mm.
don't want to be misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, you tell me if you think this is
Okay.
correct. If you have a pie, if you
Right.
have a whole pie,
Mm-hmm.
and there's only a fourth of
Mm-hmm.
piece of pie
Mm-hmm.
that's available,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna have people scrapping over that fourth.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Now I don't
Nah.
know. You don't think that's it?
No.
Okay, you tell me what you think.
Because you think for yourself only.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
selfishness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
I I
Because you
I'll
want
say
you to be
agree.
full first before you give the rest to somebody else, but not to share with. If I understand your question, it's a
Mhm.
pie, right?
Right.
Do I want people to take a bite of what I have on my table?
Mhm.
No.
That's what I'm saying. You're scrapping over that fourth.
Mm.
I'm not giving
Right.
anything to anybody
Mm-hmm.
else. You have a billion people scrapping over a fourth of a pie. So it's not a thing where there's a lot of generosity in a
Mm-hmm.
situation like that. It's every man for himself.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Wow.
what I'm saying.
I see. This is very interesting. Wow,
Mhm.
you've shared so much with us. I
Mhm.
really, really appreciate it. I hope I've not left any other question out. But if you have some advice for those watching us,
Mhm.
maybe best story advice for even Africans who are always, wanting to travel, leave the country to Americas, to wherever. If you have some advice for them, what would that be? And is it even possible for them to succeed on the continent?
Very good question. Before or should I say when we came,
Mm-hmm.
I probably would have answered it like this:
Mm.
stay where you are and work on your own country
Mm-hmm.
because you actually have the resources to do it. Because every grassroots movement starts with the people, it doesn't start with the government.
Mm-hmm.
Civil rights movement in America, that started with the people
Mm-hmm.
because the government wasn't doing anything to help black people in America.
Right.
But that started with the people
Mm-hmm.
to push that forward. Well, in my opinion, it's the same thing here. However, I
Mm-hmm.
am going to say this: I do understand the mentality
Mm-hmm.
of wanting to leave here. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I understand for some of the reasons we just mentioned: being selfish, not
Yes.
wanting to really, really help each other,
Yes.
not wanting to better everyone's situation. And because at the end of the day, we're kind of one people,
Mm-hmm.
and we need to help each other more.
Yeah.
We
But
really,
I don't
really
know
do.
why is it like that with black people. I think this is found everywhere. Like you said, in the States is the same, and then here in Ghana is the same. And but that is what we need to be able to become powerful and to be self-sufficient and even to be independent, truly be independent. But we're not doing that as people. So what do you think we can change that can, kind of reverse all this thing happening?
That's going to take a lot. Because that mindset, I can even say in the States, that mindset is kind of deeply ensconced.
Wow.
Because of the situation in America and what Black Americans have had to go through.
Right.
It's deeply ensconced. It's the same thing here. It's now it's ensconced because, again, like I said a little earlier, I'm looking at what's going on in the West. I want that Western lifestyle.
Right.
So I've got to get money.
Right.
Okay, I, instead of we. That's a problem.
Wow.
That's a problem.
Wow. I would refer to Judah again. He said back in the West, in the U.S., they were physically enslaved with chains, but back here on the continent, they are enslaved.
Oh, without a doubt. I agree with that 100%. There's a lot of mental slavery here. There's a lot of mental slavery in the States too, but there's a lot of mental slavery here, and actually that's more dangerous than physical slavery. Having the chains on that mind is going to restrict. And one problem that I find here, and you tell me if this is correct, I found that a lot of Ghanaians don't even really know their history.
No, it's true. You're right. Because like, I only know till 400 back in history where the slave was happening. Anything before that, I have no idea.
Okay, so you know when the transatlantic slave trade took place, and that's about all you know.
Yeah,
it's
that's
hard to go back farther. Okay.
I don't even know where we came from as people because migration was a thing back in the days, right? But then from school, I've never learned anything, about me as an individual, as a Ghanaian, or where my ancestors or my forefathers came from, or who I am. That is like a mystery. It's like an unspoken language.
Where and that's done by design. That's not by accident. That's the same thing they've done in the States. In schools, they just go to slavery like there was nothing that happened before then. Okay, it was like just slavery.
Yeah.
But you said that you don't really know. Let me ask you a question. Did you know there was another Ghana, the Kingdom of Ghana?
No. This is the only Ghana we have. There is another Ghana.
Oh, absolutely.
Where?
There are other Ghanaians. There are other Ghanaians in your ancient history. And I'm talking about ancient.
I love this conversation.
There was a kingdom of Ghana. That's up near, it was located up near, oh gosh. Why is the name escaping me right now?
Close to Egypt?
No. It's on the West Coast, but it's up. And I know the name. Sorry, guys. It's escaping me right now. And those people in that area, they know they're Ghanaian. You guys became Ghanaians.
Is it on the continent or outside the continent?
It's on the continent.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is it Gambia?
No. It's up higher. It's near Mali. It's near Mali. What? It starts with an M. Okay, so I'm so sorry right now. It's escaped. Well, I got a 64-year-old mind. Sometimes things escape me, but I'm sure some of your listeners might know where I'm talking about.
The Maya Empire?
No, it was the king, because the Maya Empire was on another continent.
Oh, okay. Wow.
There was the Kingdom of Ghana, great kingdom. That continent, that kingdom was conquered by the Mali kingdom that swallowed it. And I'm talking about amazing, great kingdoms that you need to do some research on.
Wow.
And then that kingdom was taken over by the Songhay kingdom. That's where the first university on this planet came from. It's University of Timbuktu. They would make you think that universities probably originated
somewhere in Europe,
but it didn't. Your scholars from Europe, like your Plato,
Mhm.
Socrates,
Mhm.
there's another one. They studied at the University of Timbuktu. They came to this continent
To
to
study.
study
Wow.
because the libraries in Timbuktu were massive. The writings were massive. They were scholars.
Wow.
I don't want to
And
get
these
too
are
far
black people.
into it. These are black people. All of your indigenous people were black people.
Hmm.
All you look at Australia,
Wow.
the Aborigines, those were black people. But when you see Australia, they show you
Hmm. You showed me
Caucasian people.
some footages, the pictures that I was showing on the screen. Is that okay?
Sure, of
Yeah, where
course.
the indigenous people are hit from the media, and then they are being represented by,
People that look
long
right,
hair.
whiter skin
Right.
or lighter skin, and that's what you think in your
Mm.
mind. But most of this world is people, melanated people.
Mm.
White people make up a small percentage
Hmm.
of this world,
Wow.
and they come from
Where did it
up.
come from? I
There
love
is
this.
so much
I
we
love
can
this.
discuss
We
because
can
I'm
do that on
kind
a
of trying to hold
podcast.
back a little bit,
Yeah.
but there's so much
Many. Yeah.
that we can discuss
Right.
because these are things that were hidden from
Wow.
us from so long.
Yeah.
But I love the Most High because what
Mhm.
did He say in His Word? Whatever is in the dark,
Mhm.
He's going
Come
to
to
bring it
light.
to the light.
Wow.
And that's
Wow.
what's happening.
Yeah.
These things are being illuminated
Mhm.
now. So we know who we are.
Yeah.
So we will not buy
Mhm.
into
Mhm.
we're less than
Mhm.
and they're greater than.
Mhm.
And I don't have a problem with white people, but I love my people and I
Yeah.
love who I am.
Yeah. I think I would use this opportunity to tell them
Mm-hmm.
about your new platform that
Okay.
would be really going into details about all
Absolutely.
this, teachings. So,
Absolutely.
if you don't mind, you can share
Oh,
the details with
absolutely.
the viewers.
Absolutely. I have a YouTube channel that's going to start next month, actually July 16th, which
Mhm.
is my birthday, but I don't celebrate birthdays. But that's when it's being
Mhm.
launched. It's called Madam V, the
Mhm.
Silver Fox.
Okay.
And that's what I will be talking about. Some of the issues that my dear Hayford put
Mhm.
on the table today, where I will get into detail
Mhm.
in a lot of this because knowledge is power. And the Most High said in His Word that His people perish for the lack of knowledge.
Mhm.
We have to know who we are so we can dispel some of the things that make us feel like we're less than. If I have darker skin, oh, I'm not as pretty,
Right.
or I'm not as
Mhm.
acceptable as somebody that is Caucasian or whatever. I am. I have woolly hair, which I love my hair, but I'm not as acceptable because mine is not flowing,
Right.
and that type of thing.
Mhm.
But we have to understand where that comes from and
Right.
what our lineage
Mhm.
is,
Mhm.
which is very something for us to be
Mhm.
very proud of. So again, Madam V, Silver Fox, will be launching on the 16th, and on the 4th of next month, my daughter Nye and I, because her YouTube channel is Nye's
Mhm.
Corner,
Mhm.
um, we are starting a podcast, and that's going to be launched on the 4th of July. And it's not because it's the 4th of July. It was a
Mhm.
specific day that I wanted to do, not the date. So we'll be launching our podcast, which is called The Second Exodus. It's time to prepare.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Absolutely. Thank
Now,
you.
if you guys are watching, I want you to just subscribe to the channel. The link will be in the description below, and to really listen to the message she has. We don't have much time now, but she shared a lot with me, and I think it opened my mind, to some extent, and my eyes, that I think if you guys should, listen, you would also learn a lot. Don't always watch TV and then social media. The real message and the real, truth doesn't come from the social medias. It comes from people who are really, passionate about the story and willing to share regardless of what the consequences are. So just, hop on the podcast, listen to it, and then you might be blessed. So I want to say thank you very much for speaking to me. But before I let you go, I want us to talk about all this, the whitewashing of black histories.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it very necessary for the white to do that? And then what is the advantage to them? I wanted you to, end the conversation.
The advantage is quite large for them because they've convinced the whole world that they're the. Okay, can I tell you a story?
Sure.
When shortly after we arrived here, I got a taxi,
Mm-hmm.
and the taxi driver's name was George. I'll never forget George. George was an slightly older man,
Mm-hmm.
and my daughter Nye and I and our next door neighbor Kiera, who's a diasporan as well. We were having a conversation, and Kiera was just saying, I don't know why I'm called an abroni. She's very, very
Mm.
fair. She said, I don't know why I'm called. That's like an insult to me.
Yes.
And
It's like calling a black person a nigger or something like that.
what? Well, it's comparing you to somebody, maybe somebody white.
White. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Because my daughter especially, because she's lighter, she's been called a
Right.
white woman,
Oh wow.
and that is not really complimentary to us. It's not. And so we were discussing that, and George, he's driving,
Mm-hmm.
and he inserted himself in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And what he said is, you shouldn't be insulted by that
Mm.
because that's a compliment.
Oh.
And we were like, a compliment? How? And he said, because white people are smarter.
Hmm.
They've invented everything.
Wow.
They are better looking.
Hmm.
And you should be actually very flattered
That you
that you're
didn't
being
call that.
compared to them. And when George said that, that kind of blew my mind. Okay, it really did, because I was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I appreciated him being honest, but it gave me a lot of food for thought.
Yes.
It really, really did. And this is the reason why I'm saying they had to whitewash history. They had to whitewash the Bible. During and I'll get into this more deeply in my channel, but during the Renaissance time, they changed the visage of all of the people,
Hmm.
all the chosen
Mhm.
people, all the people of the book,
Even Jesus.
even, and I can't call him Jesus.
No.
Because that's not his name.
Yeah.
That's not a Hebrew name.
Mm.
In fact, I think I told you,
Yes,
if you
there's
share
no
with
J
you,
in the
there's
Hebrew
no,
language.
No, there's no J. So it's, they whitewashed everything so they could be more superior. Because I'm going to be really honest with you, and I'm not trying to offend anyone, but I
Right.
have to tell you what's true. They needed to get people from this continent to go over to America and to Europe and to different places to build those places up, because they did not have the ability to do so
it.
themselves.
Wow.
Most of the inventions that we
have.
enjoy today came from black minds. But what Caucasian people did was, one person said the only thing they invented was the patent office.
Mm.
So they could get a patent on those things. So you think, oh, this person discovered electricity. Oh, this person, made the first door or
Right.
doorbell or what. I mean, there's so many things.
Things, yeah.
And so I can even tell you that happened to my grandfather.
Wow.
You know the liquid soap that we use,
Yeah.
For washing dishes,
dishes,
or,
yeah.
or washing clothes or whatever. My grandfather actually is the one that came up with liquefying soap.
Wow.
He worked for a
Wow.
man named Mr. Carroll.
Wow.
What Mr. Carroll did was he took what my grandfather had created, and
Wow.
what he did was he told him, I'm going to give you a job for life, and I'm going to buy your house.
For that invention.
And that family made boohoo dollars off of
Wow.
that. My grandfather got a house and a job working for Mr. Carroll for the rest of his life.
This is
the
not
truth.
fair. How
That's
can
what
we
happened.
change this? Because there's fresh mind on the continent, and I see a lot of Westerners coming here, and then they give scholarship for these people, and then take them to the US, UK to learn, and then through this process, people their ideas are being stolen through this, submitting your project works to the school.
Right?
They
Sure.
come in, they reviewed some of the best students' project work, and these ideas are stolen from the universities and everything. So how can we change this? Because then we will end up always giving our, minds to them, and we have no control over, what we own, actual intellectual, properties.
Number one, we need to become more enlightened.
Education.
And I'm not talking about traditional education
Mm-hmm.
because that's an indoctrination.
Right.
Um, I'm talking about educated and more enlightened about who we are and the value that we have and what we bring to the table and what history teaches us. That's the reason why they cut off history,
Hmm.
because history teaches you what not to repeat.
Right.
But if you don't know it,
Mm-hmm.
you think, oh, they're being really nice to me or
Mm-hmm.
whatever
Mm-hmm.
the case may be. Because we come from an environment where we've gotten to know them very much.
Yes.
See, I know here in Ghana, you guys haven't had a lot of
Close up experience.
no.
Mm-hmm.
So you think they're cool people
Yeah.
and they're, their families,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
little Bobby and
Mhm.
little
Mhm.
Sally,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
they're just this wonderful
Yeah.
little family. Um, no,
Mhm.
no.
Mhm.
You have to know who your enemy is.
Mhm.
That's a quote from a very, very popular movie,
Mhm.
The Hunger Games.
Wow.
Know who your enemy is.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying that white people are
Mhm.
terrible people,
Mhm.
but I am saying that you have to understand how they think and how they work. You have to really get a hold of that.
Yeah.
Then those things wouldn't happen to you.
Yes.
Because if you know there's a
So,
history of them stealing,
right.
why would you turn your stuff over?
Exactly. So, how can the diasporans and like yourself and people who have lived with them for so many years, centuries,
Mm-hmm.
how would they be able to come down here? What way should they do it in a way that we would be able to learn, from you guys and the
Mm-hmm.
experience you've had with them, and to be able to be, self-aware of some of this, tricks that they use.
I think that the diasporans that I know can't wait to share this.
Mm.
There has to be an ear to hear though, and an understanding of what's being shared,
Right.
and not, oh well, no,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're like
Mm-hmm.
that. Well, as long as that exists,
Mm-hmm.
there's not a lot you can do. That's why I use every opportunity that I can. That's why the Most High even, I believe, brought me here too.
Mm-hmm.
Every opportunity that I can
Mm-hmm.
to talk to,
Mm-hmm.
especially young people.
People.
Because older people, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're
Mm-hmm.
kind of set. I've
Mm-hmm.
noticed that, kind of
Mm-hmm.
set in their ways, set
Mm-hmm.
in their thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But younger people are the future, and there's so many young people on this
Yes,
continent.
that's true.
And you can change things,
Lives.
but you have to have the knowledge to
Mm-hmm.
be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
We have no problem sharing because we've been in the belly of the beast,
Right.
and we can tell you what the belly of the beast is like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there has to be, I guess, a desire to even learn this. We're here.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Mm-hmm.
here. Have no problem sharing the
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
information.
I mean, I listened to your story, and I really wanted to know more. And I think I might be different from others, but I had a complaint where an American, black American, if I'm
Mm-hmm.
allowed to say that, because,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's like, a lot of Ghanaians are ignorant in the way that the old knowledge that they know is what they want to stick to it. And then when you come down here trying to be like, oh, you can do it this way and it will be more convenient and faster, they tend to like kind of reject it.
Mm-hmm.
In a way that they is like, okay, you don't know any better than me. But what can you say about that and how we can change it? Because then we are powerful together with the diasporans to
I think we have a lot to bring to the table. Ghanaians have a lot to bring to the table, and we have a lot to bring to the table. I
right.
think, first of all, we need to stop looking at the money aspect.
Right.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting close because that's happened to me several times. I'm getting close to you because I want to see what I can get out of you.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
But I've noticed the Most High does bring people to in my path, such as yourself,
Mm.
such as Ebenezer. You
Yeah.
know, we've had amazing
Mm-hmm.
discussions. And I think that if, first of all, diasporans don't feel like they know everything, because see,
Mm-hmm.
that can happen too,
Mm-hmm.
because we don't know
Everything.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
But we have been in an environment where we have learned a lot. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I was involved in a organization for briefly called
Oh,
Awesome Africans,
okay.
and it was a combination of diasporans and Ghanaians.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to put together a digital library just of history because I'm a
Mm-hmm.
history buff,
Yeah.
and we did a little canvassing, and we discovered that it probably wouldn't do that well.
Mm.
Okay,
Why?
it probably wouldn't do that well because some people might not really want to
Want to
sit
read.
down and really read this stuff. And there's something I want to tell you about
Mm-hmm.
reading
Mm-hmm.
that I don't think we realize. There's a nice number, not all, but there's a number of people from the diaspora from the States
Mm-hmm.
that, or should I say in the
Mm-hmm.
States, that they don't really have a love of reading.
Why?
And I was told that that exists here too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there's an old saying, if you want to hide something from someone, put it in a book.
Yeah. I had that different version of that. If you want to hide something from an African, you have to put it in a book, or a black man
See, okay,
actually.
but I'm going to tell you something about that though.
Mm-hmm.
There's a backstory to that.
Okay.
A lot of the ancient civilizations here on this continent,
Okay.
they taught by spoken word.
Hmm.
We learn a lot by spoken word. The real reading
Mm-hmm.
is kind of not really our
Oh,
thing,
thing. Yeah, it's true.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why they said, hide it. You put in a book. They'll never read it.
That's true.
You know, it's some people have a love of reading. Some black people have a love for reading. I'm sure here on the continent and in the West, Caribbean,
Mm-hmm.
South America.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to leave anybody out
Yeah.
because we're scattered
Right.
all over the place. Canada. Um, but there's a nice number of us that don't really like to
No.
read.
Mm. And I think social media is making it worse, where the
Uh,
attention span of the people are
oh,
reducing.
put her there, Hayford. Okay, put her there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of frivolous.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling you, I
Yeah.
hate TikTok. When I went on TikTok the first time, I was like, are you kidding me? Okay, is this something that people really watch? You know, no
Mm-hmm.
offense if you
Mm-hmm.
love TikTok, please
Mm-hmm.
don't take this
Mm-hmm.
personally, but there's some mindless stuff on
Yeah.
TikTok. And like you said, the attention span, we used to say a long time ago that children have a short attention span, but
No.
so do
Yeah.
adults.
I, I I don't know how this happened though.
Social media is not helping, and just stresses of surviving.
Wow.
But social media has definitely put a huge nail in that coffin.
That's true. That's true. And this video is going to be long and it's full of knowledge. These words you don't come by easy. It's a gift. We are even blessed to have her speak to us today. So I really want you to really take it in good heart. Share to your friends and family. Share this video. Subscribe to their channel. Go listen to more because we are in the end times.
We're in the end
And
times.
without having a clue of what is to come, when that day come, you'd really suffer. So a word to a wise is enough. I hope that was right. So subscribe to her channel, and then she's there ready to share more with you, starting from the 4th of July,
For the
and then
podcast.
for the podcast, and then 16th also. So yes, we'll wrap up now. So before we leave, we have something to tell the viewers. You can.
Yes, I do.
Hmm.
Yes, I do. Also, subscribe to my brother's channel. Or should I say it's one of my new sons.
Yeah.
My son's channel as well.
Mm-hmm.
he's turning out some amazing content.
Thank you.
And the support is very, very important. We have to support each other. So please
Thank you.
subscribe to his channel as well and share his
Hmm.
information
Hmm.
and give it that thumbs up, that like.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So yes, before we leave, her daughter is called Nai, and her YouTube channel is Nai's Corner. There's amazing content there where they make videos about their experience, what they go through every day. If you're planning on moving to Ghana and you want a vivid explanation and the difficulties, the challenges, just go to the YouTube channel Nai's Corner, and even the new ones would be they will be sharing a lot there as well. And yeah, we did a first episode. That's an interview with her daughter where she also shared her part of the story. So if you've not watched that, please check it out. And yeah, thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you,
I'll
honey.
share all
Thank you so
your
much.
social medias, and please subscribe to their channel, like, and then you have Instagram.
Yes.
Yes, so I'll share all the Instagram, Facebook, and everything on the screen. And yeah, thank you for blessing us with this knowledge.
No, thank you
We
for
would come back
blessing
again
me.
for more details, but
Thank you for blessing me. It's been my pleasure.
thank you so much. God bless you.
God
All
bless
right,
you,
thank you
honey.
so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to friends and family. And yes, have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.